Tonight I'm going to start up the rotary laser, and we're going to try to use this to level out that beam that I put in. I'm going to take the sensor here and mount it on the grade stick, just wherever. Turn that on. Okay, turn that on. Turn that on. You got to be kidding me. These are brand new batteries. Oh, I guess it helps when you put them in correctly instead of incorrectly. You get it? Incorrectly. Okay, let's try that. That's better. I'm going to take my ladder down the other end. I'm going to see where we're at in here. Saying I got to go down. This is so difficult to get adjusted perfectly. Okay, that shows that I'm low. I'm swinging the grade stick back and forth because it seems to be very, very sensitive to the angle like this or like this. This grade stick has to be perfectly plumb in order for that to read right. So it's telling me that I'm low here. So I need to go up roughly a 1/4 inch. Let's see down here. I really need to get 2 ladders. I can have one down here and the other one down there. Maybe that one's got to go up. I bet you that's got to go up a good inch. It is so hot out here. You have no idea how stinking hot it is. It's 90 degrees. There is almost an imperceptible breeze, which means basically none. And the humidity is 90%. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. All right. Let's see where that gets us. That's close. I'll bet you that probably went up 1/8 of an inch right there. I'll need to go up another 1/8 of an inch. That's real close. Wow, that's probably a 1/16 of an inch there. I'd say it's right there. I mean, it's as I move this thing, it was bouncing. Oh, I think that's probably good about where it's going to be. Oh, I'm just dripping in sweat. This is miserable out here. Absolutely miserable. It's very frustrating because the only time that you can work on this porch in the summer is from about 5 a.m. till about noon. That's it. After that, it is so hot out here because the sun starts to come up over the top of the house, and then you literally have no shade anymore. Well, that's kind of hard packed right there. Let's see if my gap closed up. I've got about an 1/8 of an inch gap right there. Looks like it's pretty closed up right there. I think that's going to have to be about as good as it's going to get. I'm going to grab my bubble level and lay across the top there and see how that looks, just to confirm that the laser is correct. That's right on the money. I mean, that is right on the money, is what I'm telling you. Very good. Happy with that. Yeah, it's right there. Right there, boys and girls. I'll probably get a screw jack and put right here on this junction between the rim joist and the floor joist. Run that up here. That way I can be free to add my end piece in when the time comes. Safety officer probably would not approve of this, but sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. And right now, I got to trim that piece off right there. That looks pretty good. Now I can put my block in there. A little high on this end, but that's consistent from the existing porch all the way out here. So that means, although it is off ever so slightly, that simply means that it's all going to be off the same amount, and you won't be able to tell where the old stops and the new starts because it goes like that. It's all off the same amount, so that's good. Last couple names. Oh, that's like the worst thing that ever could have happened right there. You just witnessed the tragedy. My level just fell to the ground. All right. I got all the ceiling joists put in, and the beam is parallel to the house within 1/8 of an inch all the way along its length, so I'm happy with that. Now I'm going to get ready to start cutting rafters, and this is the part where I usually end up cutting about 3 or 4 test pieces that end up as scrap, or use the smaller pieces somewhere else on the project, whatever. But this time what I did is this board right here is the end of the gable overhang from the old porch. So I carefully took that off. Another reason why you don't just go in there with a sawzall and start sawing everything up and ripping it all out. That's a lot of fun, and it makes for great content on Chip and Joanna Gaines, whatever Magnolia thing that they do, where they go in with sledgehammers and stuff. But that's not how we do this at Applied OCD. We're more like surgeons. So anyway, I carefully took this piece off so as not to damage it. Then I went up to the rafters, up in the existing ones, and I measured down from the roof deck perpendicular to that surface, measured down, and I got 3.5 inches. That's going to be what they call the measuring line. So on the speed square, you'll notice that there's a diamond right here, happens to be at 3.5 inches. So you take your speed square and the pencil, stick it in that notch and just run it down there. And then I also measured from that point right there where the bird's mouth is on the existing rafters. I measured from there up the measuring line, 3.5 inches down from here with my tape, and I came up with 74.25. So that's on the measuring line. That's the outer corner of the beam. So if this is the beam here, this corner right here is the measuring line. It goes up. So I measured that out, used the speed square, and if you put there's a place right here, it's called a pivot, and then if you look, you'll see the 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4 on this one for the common rafters. You just pivot that around until the 4 lines up, like so. There's the 4. I'm on the 4 on the common rafter thing, and I can run my hand along here and feel that it's cut perfectly. So that you take this down here and do the same thing. You mark it off here on the 4 for the 4/12 pitch. Slide it down until it meets that 74 1/4 on the measuring line. Draw this line down, and then draw your line. That's the bird's mouth. So that's gonna fit the width of the beam across the top, and it's gonna be on the measuring line. I just took this piece out there and set it up so that this is at the top of the ledger on the house, which is how it's supposed to be. And then I held this like so on the edge of the beam, and it lines up just fine. I'm gonna cut this one, then I'm gonna take this piece and I'm gonna go down the roof system at each rafter location, and then I'm gonna make sure that it fits good and looks pretty decent and so on. And then if it looks good, if it's within, you know, a decent tolerance, we'll go ahead and cut some rafters and start putting those up. One thing I have to do is up at the house on the ledger that's currently on the house right now. What they've done, so if the ledger is right here, what they've done is they went, because it's a 2x8 or I think it's 2x10, so it's real wide. So what they did is they just made a chalk line on here and then nailed the 2x4 on, so the top end of the rafter rests on this board. Makes it a lot easier because you can just drop this end up there at the house, go out there, bam, bam, hit it with the nail gun, and come up here, bam, 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 hit it with the nail gun again, and then you're all set. Then I'll go up there, snap a chalk line down the ledger, put that onto the house, and then after that, it's gonna be cut rafters and get those bad boys put up there. Starting to make some progress. So there's where we're at. Let's cut some rafters.
Take it a little farther.
There we go. That's plenty. Well, folks, there you have it. I got all the rafters on, and it's not even 4 o'clock yet. So I met my goal, and looks pretty good. They're all nice and straight and parallel with each other. Everything looks good. The bird's mouth cuts ended up being a little on the generous side. Yeah, there's a little more of a gap on the end of that bird's mouth cut than I really am totally thrilled with. But like a colleague of mine once said, don't let perfect stand in the way of good. And this is good. As I said earlier, the builder who built the house, his bird's mouth cuts were a little off as well. It didn't affect the functionality of the porch, and I never saw it from the ground or when you walked up or from the road. I think this is good enough.